Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Siphokazi. I'm a self-transformation coach. I am so glad to be finally starting this journey on YouTube, and I hope that you will enjoy my content, and I hope that it will transform your life in the best possible way. Please do not be scared to share and subscribe, and also comment below if there's anything that you need to share with me. Okay, so kicking off our first episode, and talking about something that we all go through, on a daily basis, whether it's personal or whether it's with family and friends. It's basically something that we ought to take into consideration as we navigate this life challenging waters, and that is forgiveness. So my topic for today is freedom in forgiveness. Okay, so we walk around all the time with heavy feelings of burdens, holding grudges and not being able to forgive. And a lot of us do not understand how powerful it is to forgive. Our lives are filled with people who say and do things that we do not like, and some way even hurt us to a point of no return. And where we can sometimes feel like there's no hope left for us. It happens a lot on a daily basis. Our problem is that we harbor those feelings and dwell on the issues for far too long, and eventually they start to eat us away, bit by bit, until we eventually become our own enemies, and we are constantly taking in, absorbing and accepting everything negative that's been thrown at us without any form of release, really. And you can ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it really worth it for you to hold on to those feelings? Because they are not only taking away from you, they are taking away from the the joy. They're taking away the joy of life, really. So the freedom that comes with forgiveness is actually miraculous. I mean, if you've never really tried to just forgive someone, even if they don't say they are sorry, just forgive them. It's almost the same as the feeling of letting go. As much as those are two different things, but basically when you forgive somebody, you are saying to yourself, I'm letting go of what they have done to me. I'm letting go of the feelings that I felt, after what they've done to me. Forgiveness is an actual fact. Letting go, it is, letting go of the anger, you let go of the resentment, you let go of the hate, you let go of the disappointments, and you even let go of as much as words sometimes you can't take back. Well, you can't take back words, but you let go of what those words said to you. When someone says something to you, it cuts through deep. But if you let go of the feeling of what the words meant to you, then that is a starting point. You also let go of the pain, and all those things that came with the situation that led to you not forgiving someone, for that matter. Because those feelings are not good feelings to carry around. Like the Lord's Prayer says, forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Basically, I look at it as a freedom statement, because if you forgive somebody, you always expect the same from someone that you do the same to. Not the same, but you hurt in some kind of way. So why not forgive somebody? Because you also expect that to be done to you. Same as the saying that goes, do to others what you'd like to be done to you. So forgive other people, because you also expect the same. And also, it's some way. This is in some way we also have to forgive those who have done us wrong, and so that we can move on and leave unnecessary baggage behind. I mean, you walk around with hurt, disappointment, and imagine whenever you see this person that has hurt you, always those feelings and everything always bubbles up, and it's sort of like it recreates that whole situation all over again, and you do not need that. Imagine if there's like 5 people that hurt you, walking down the street, you meet the first person, you're boiling up because this person, you have not forgiven them, you know, you pass them, and then you meet the second person again. Basically, for that whole entire, let's say 30 minutes you're walking on that street, you're mad, you're angry. You know, it's not good for you, it's not good for your life, and it's good for yourself. It's definitely not good for your energy as well. And imagine that that's the sad thing is, the person that you usually are angry at or you have not forgiven, sometimes they have no clue about your feelings. Sometimes they have no way of knowing that you feel that kind of way, you know, over them. Therefore, they going on living their lives happy, and even if they're a bad person, you know, bad people don't really, you know, feel bad about their actions. You know, they don't really care. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your thoughts. They don't care about you in general. So you're the one that's walking around with all these things, you know, you're piling them up, you're thinking about the day they did this, it becomes a whole big basket of emotions. And the best way to release, you know, those feelings is basically to forgive them. And I know it's something that's really hard to do, but if you train yourself to do it, you can eventually get over those feelings. Okay, so you know, tell you a story. You know, we are people. You know, we go through these things on a daily basis. We go through, you know, some things that we never really want to go through. You know, I recently had an altercation with, you know, a family member. You know, it turned really brutal. It was bad. You know, it was excruciating bad. And to take into consideration, this is, you know, an older citizen in the family, and it's someone that I should be looking up to, you know, as a mother, you know, as a caregiver, and, you know, someone that I should be respecting, and in turn treating me, you know, like a child, their own child, and, you know, taking really good care of me and respecting me, and, you know, but it just blew up to be something that, you know, can never be mended. Words were said, you know, and, you know, emotions were high. We even got physical. I know it's like it's unheard of. It's not unheard of, but I mean, it's something that you wouldn't expect. But, you know, it was bad. But at the end of the day, you know, for me, the whole thing was not even about that person having anything against me. It was just understanding that they have an issue. They have issues within themselves that have absolutely nothing to do with me. You know, it's just sometimes a case of being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, someone decides that they want to behave a certain way because of whatever reason, and then you become the victim at that point in time. You know, so I took it upon myself to, I have not asked for forgiveness. I have not even asked them to forgive me. You know, they have not even asked for my forgiveness. But, you know, for the sake of my own peace of mind and the sake of my own, you know, life carrying on, you know, and being happy and being the best person and the best version of myself, I just chose to let it go. You know, I chose to forgive them, you know, for whatever, you know, forgive them, you know, yesterday, forgive them for the day before and the day before that, and, you know, forgive them all the way, and forgive them even for the future, you know. And that's something that you have to really, really train your mind to do. You really need to train your heart to do even. Because even the simplest thing is walking to the grocery store and someone steps on you, you know, you don't even know that person, you don't know what they're going through, you don't know, you know, what their situation is, but you just have to just, you know, forgive and move on, because it really does free you. Because how many times are you ever going to hold grudges, and how many people are you ever going to not forgive because you are holding those emotions and you're holding those grudges. So it's always best to learn to forgive. You know, in life we have to learn to accept apologies that we never receive. You know, how many men really, I mean, as talking as a woman, hurt us, they dump us, they hurt us, emotionally, physically, in some kind of way, but they never say I'm sorry, and you always holding on to say, no, he has not apologized to me, so I hate him. Nah, 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 nah. People do big things to people, but in order for you to live, fully, to live freely, you have to free yourself from that state of mind to think that you are ever going to be happy with holding grudges, that you're ever going to be happy to you you're never going to be happy to live the best life that you can possibly live just because you have not forgiven someone, because you are the one that's walking around with that pain. You are the one that's walking around with the memory of the incidents that have happened. You are the one that's walking around with things. I know even for me there are still situations in my life that I am dealing with, people that I'm still working on finding a way to forgive them for the things they have done to me. But it's always easy also to come up with excuses and reason why you cannot forgive. Sometimes you don't understand the impact it has really on your life. It has great impact when it comes to your health. It has a lot of impact when it comes to your emotional well-being, your mental state of mind, and it has a great impact on your relationships, and the decision to forgive is not easy, and that's why we struggle with that act, because it is an act of forgiveness. And at the end of the day, sometimes it's simply just a decision. You just have to make that decision to say, I am going to forgive, whether this person asks for forgiveness, whether it happens my way or doesn't happen my way, but for me and for my sake, I will forgive and move on. So we need to change our minds and our hearts and look forward to the joy and the freedom of what letting go really brings. At the end of the day, it's not about the next person, but it's all about you and your life, because your life is more important than anyone else's. Forgiveness is really the first step to innermost healing and the pursuit of true happiness. I mean, if you don't believe that, try walking around, forgiving people, because you're literally just pushing things away from you. You pushing, if you at work and someone pisses you off, you just find a corner and be like, okay, you know what, I'm letting this go. I forgive that person. Move on, because you're going to see them tomorrow, you're going to see them the next day. They're constantly going to be in your life. And imagine walking around now, with these people in your life that you're not talking to, that you cannot stand looking at. It's really a hard life to live, and those people are walking around like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. And that does not help you in any kind of way, because the more they walk around like that, arrogant and everything, you get hurt day by day, because they will never see the impact of the damage that they've done to you in your life. So forgiveness then is the first step to innermost healing in that way, because you heal yourself and you actually find that life becomes easier. If you want to heal yourself, if you want to heal your relationships, and lessen your emotional load count, you have to take the first step to forgive. The onus is really on you, because you have absolutely no control over what the next person does and says and feels. The only person you have control over is yourself. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. So I always say that you have, like I just said, you have absolutely no control over what the next person says or thinks or does, because you are not in their head, and you definitely cannot see through, what's happening in their minds. Because someone can smile at you 1 minute and they can stab you in the back the next minute. So all you have to do is just to control how you react to that person and how you react to things. Alright, cool. So my message to you is, right, there is absolutely great freedom in learning to forgive yourself. First thing, always learn to forgive yourself. It all starts with you. And when you forgive yourself, you remove yourself from the situation, and that teaches you to look at the situation from the outside, because you put yourself, you like step away from the situation and look at it, from that point of view and say, okay, cool, in this situation, how should one deal with it? You can see how ugly it is. You can see, the drama that comes with it. But if you step away, you can actually see for what it is, and forgive yourself. This forces you to put yourself first and consider what is good for you, because in the situation you can step aside and say, this would be best for me. I choose not to be this person. I choose to step away from the situation. And you forgive yourself for going through the situation. I know you did not put yourself there. Sometimes the situation is not even your fault, but it's a choice that you make and say, what, I choose to forgive myself for whatever that's happening, for whatever kind of drama that's happening in my life right now. I forgive myself, right? So number 2, the second thing is to, my nose is itching, I'm not sure why. I think it's like sinuses and stuff. Okay, the next thing is there is great freedom in learning to forgive your situation. Yes, you have to step back and say, I know what happened, and I was there. It wasn't good, it wasn't great, but you know what? For me to move on from this situation, I forgive it. And something I actually learned recently is everything that you go through. I learned from the book of this book by it's called The Book of Life and How to Play It. It's by Florence Scovel Shin. You can look it up. What I'll do, I'll actually post the link of the book. It's an audio book that I actually found on YouTube. I'll post the link and you can actually listen to it. It has some great insight on how we should basically live our lives. And so what it says is, whatever situation, unpleasant situations that you go through, in your life, what you can do is baptize its success, so that you actually can get full benefit of that negative situation and turn it into a positive. Simple act of just saying, okay, I know what happened to my life. I fought with so and so, and it wasn't great. It has caused me great pain and everything that came with it. But from this moment on, I baptize the situation success and let it go. And also with that act of forgiving the situation, and just saying, you know what, I forgive it. I'm moving on and just letting it go. I must try it. And yeah, so it basically also means that you are forgiving the situation, you are acknowledging that it happened, and you are acknowledging the damage or the part that it played in your life, and that the one thing that can happen is for you to learn from that situation, because then there's always something that you can change about your reaction, the next time around. Because sometimes there are signs, like if something happens that you feel that will probably take you back to a situation or of that kind, you can always step back and say, you know what, I'm not going to be involved in the situation again, and learn a new way to react or find a solution. Okay, the third message from me to you is that there is great freedom in learning to forgive others. And this is a big thing for us, because when it comes to the person that has done the most to you, the last thing that you really, really want to do is forgive them. Whether they are aware or not aware that they have hurt you, the onus is on you to forgive them for your own sake of peace and happiness, because you benefit more from forgiving them than they actually do, because really they are not in you, they are not within you, they're not around you, they don't really care about you, and the only person that you have to look out for is number 1, and that is yourself. Because the benefit, you benefit more from this than they would, and it lessens your load of things to carry. and frees up your energy so that you can really focus on the good things that life has to offer. You know, a simple walk down the street, you know, without you having to feel some type of way when you see someone you don't like, or someone that has done something to you. And that also means that as much as you can forgive those people and forgive everything, it does not mean that now you have to be friends with them, you have to be part of their lives. You know, you can simply forgive and then, you know, move on, you know, and step away from them, and not be friends with them anymore, you know, and remove yourself from their lives, because you can see that they are not people that you can that bring out the best in you or offer you anything that you can benefit from, you know. So to close off, it really is important to forgive, and we must put ourselves in a position to ask for it. You know, if you also find yourself in a position where you've done something wrong to someone, it does not really take a minute to ask for forgiveness, but I know it takes a lot of guts, and it also takes a lot from you to find yourself in a situation where you are asking for forgiveness. But think about it. If you are able to, if you want other people to forgive you, you must also be, you know, be able to forgive other people. You know, you must always also put yourself out there to say, if I've done anything wrong to anyone, I would like to ask for forgiveness from that person. And even that also, you are helping yourself to live, you know, to free yourself, because now every time you see this person, you know, you're always worried and scared, like, oh my gosh, I done something wrong to this person, and I wonder how they feel about me. You know, do they still like me? You know, will they ever forgive me? You know, it brings, you know, unnecessary fear, you know. So the best thing is to always say, you know what, if you always feel that, you know, you're in the wrong, like, you know what, this person, shame, I said something to them, I think, you know, I must ask for forgiveness so that they can also be free, so that when they also see me, they don't walk around with that feeling, you know. Always understand that you don't have control of the other person, like I said in the beginning, and the only person that you have is you. We all know what's good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong, and the onus is on us to always try by all means to do the right thing, and that you're not doing for anyone else, but you are doing for yourself. And forgiveness is a daily act. You know, I'm a mother, so that is something I do every day, because, you know, kids can rub you the wrong way. You know, they do things that you think to yourself, you know, these children. But what you have to do, you have to, like, forgive yourself, you know, for feeling the way you do, because sometimes it's a lot to take, you know. I also forgive the child, because what can they do? And you're the mother. It's not like there's anything you can do to them or with them. You just have to find yourself to forgive, you know. So small issues like that can, you know, can cause really a big damage, you know, to yourself and your kids and your relationship. So you just have to forgive, you know. And I mean, with your family too, with your friends, something that you should learn to practice day by day. It really is a principle that works in all aspects of life, whether it's personal, whether it's business, whether, you know, it's spiritual, I mean, let's say friends and whatnot, at church, wherever you are. It really is something that you embed in you, so that you can basically free yourself and live a much better life. And if you can practice it every day, something that is really going to open you up to being a much better person, you know, to feel much better by the things that are happening in your life. I mean, right now we are going through this whole phase with the coronavirus, and you know what? Forgive this virus. Forgive it for the changes that it has made to the world, to the changes that it has made to your plans, you know, for this year 2020, and forgive, you know, because now you're walking around like, damn, this corona messed up my vibe. But guess what? Life goes on. You wake up tomorrow, corona's still going to be there. Well, I'm talking about now. If you sleep today, wake up tomorrow, it's going to be there, you know. And you just have to find a way to live. You just have to find a way to move on. You just have to find a way to look at your life in a different way and your goals in a different way. That's what really forgiveness is all about. There is abundant freedom in forgiveness, because you are freeing yourself. And I hope that this topic touched you, and I hope that it encouraged you to see life in a much more positive manner. And that's the type of content that I will be bringing to you, and I hope that it changes your life, whether it's like this or it's like this. But I know that a shift will happen, because I know where a seed is planted, something always grows. And a friend of mine always says that where there's an action, there is a reaction. So don't think that just because you've made this decision to forgive that it won't change anything. It will definitely change your life in some kind of way. You may not see the effect immediately, but gradually you will eventually see that it has changed you to be a much better person. Okay, cool. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch my first YouTube video, and I hope that you will enjoy the many more that are coming. And please do share, please do subscribe to my channel, and please do also comment, like, and also comment below, and just tell me what you think, and if you enjoy this content. And if there's anything that you'd like to find out from me, you can just pop me a message and I'll check it out later. And I'll still post the link to that book by Florence Scovel-Shen, because it's a book that I read, or I listen to. I also like a soft copy. I think if I do have a soft copy, I'll actually upload it as well, because it has some great insights as into the way that you can actually make your life more positive. So thank you so much, and see you next time.